we go. Alright, y'all, this is, I wanted to touch on what I was referring to earlier. This one's, I'm going to title this one, Thieve's in the Temple. See, as you know, that your body is a temple. There's one of a kind, because it's only you. Well, I'm going to show you if the person that you have affiliation with through committed relationship, marriage, or just interaction can't grow. I'm not going to grow. I'm going to let you know on this one. You know, see, it's funny because, I mean, look at the media. Look at what's out there on the TV right now. About 85% of what's being put out on TV is reality based. But the irony of it is, all that is more or less a project. A project of how the mind thinks. So media, TV, radio, or any forms of communication that does not positively enhance your direction is a distractor that is constantly, repetitively put out there to convince you to change the way you feel, the way you think, to sway your opinion. You say, Jared, what do you mean? Think about it this way. You know, it's unfortunate this is the environment we live in. We deal with terrorists all the time. But the number one thing that a terrorist does is they use shock and awe therapy as a way to enhance fear. The agenda is to sway your mindset, to get you to do what they want you to do. So they will use their tools to more or less get you to conform into their ideology. Well, let's go back to you as a person. Your temple, mind, body, spirit. If you don't have balance with yourself, you're going to live, your life is in balance. You're in flux. You go to and fro, trying to search for the tools that are found within yourself, waiting to be released. These things are released through human interaction, positively or negatively. However, your opposition knows. Think back, go back in your, let's go back there into your back of your mind and think about those affiliations and connections that you had that when you look at it now, you're like, okay, I understand why it fell short, why it did not work, why I didn't fulfill that journey. Okay, you there? I'll give you a little bit of time because some of y'all need a little time. Okay. Now think about where you are now compared to where you were. What has changed? It should be the way you think. There should be some insight and growth. There should have been some reflection. And lastly, wisdom, or to some, lessons learned. You guys got to understand, you've got one shot to fulfill your journey, your destiny, your legacy. You notice when you go to a cemetery, you have the birth date and the death date, and you got that hash in between. That hash is your legacy. And it is your responsibility to make it as you want. But you must choose. Now, as I mentioned in the video before, as you evolve and transform into the person that you are destined to be, you're going to be faced with challenges. Your biggest challenge is through human interaction. But you got to be strong, y'all. You got to be strong. You got to be strong. See, look. See, the devil. That devil, boy. He motivates his actions through any tool he can to keep you from being happy. So what will happen is he'll bring a situation into your life that will challenge you. He may bring a person into your life that maybe when your heart was weak, because we get weak sometimes, that will from the outside look like everything you need, but they lack the things that are required. Ladies, how many times have you done this? You thought in the back of your mind, you've even prayed. You prayed and you said, Lord, I'm trying to live a good life. I just want a man to love me unconditionally, to understand who I am, to be there for me. And then all of a sudden, the first man that comes in that fits that MO, you forget about that prayer that you sent up to God. And you go back to the things and the behaviors that got you there in the beginning, that made you call on him. First of all, let me tell you what's going on. Let me throw this disclaimer out. God is not someone that you play with. Because see, what you fail to realize, what you are doing, is every time that you pray earnestly within your spirit, I'm talking about when you're by yourself, even if you're in the bathroom stall, and you at your lowest spirit. Now, first of all, you should be praising him not only when things are going good, but when things are not so good. But I'm talking about when you are at your purest form, where you are open. Because see, when you open, you are willing to receive. See, the devil knows that. He turns around like, I got you. Oh yeah. You wanted a man. You want that man that's going to love you right. That's going to have all the bells and whistles. Well, I'm going to send them to you. And guess what? He satisfies your desires. But he never gives you the things you need. Like love. The reason why this is to be is because he was sent into your life to block your blessings. That's what he does. That's what the devil does. Because see, all that negative self-talk gets in the back of your mind, and you start to validate from the things that you see, and you make that manifest into something that's relevant because it looks like something. But God already told us it is your responsibility, if you trust me, to walk by faith and not by sight. That is why it's so important to be able to discern. Because when you discern, you are placing judgment through intuition, through spirit. If it don't feel right, it ain't right. You can't put a circle in a square peg. But there goes that devil again. He puts that thought in your head and says, well, if I hold on a little bit, he'll change. What you didn't realize was the person that you met exactly who they are. So there you got choice. You have the choice to accept them for who they are, or stay firm to your standards. I know I'm talking to somebody. And yes, fellas, we do it all the time. Now, I was talking to somebody last night, and have you noticed? You may have dreams and aspirations, but it seems like your progression is slow, and it can be frustrating sometimes. The reason why it is frustrating is because you haven't mastered where you are. So God is not going to give you what is next to come. He'll give you glimmers. He will even give you the ability to see in dreams. He'll give you little, like taking a flashlight and flashing it into like a mirror, but it's dark. You'll see a piece of it. That is to give you the incentive to stay motivated. It's in the dark because the people that truly love you, they're going to be there on the end. They're going to be as you transition. It is not intended for those who are not going there. It's not intended for them to see. So keep your dreams close to yourself. Never let the right hand know what the left hand do. Because, like I watched this other video, there's a dude out there named Isaiah Johnson. He's a life coach as well. And you know what? Life coaches also need life coaches sometimes to validate that we're on the same page. And you can never stop growing. And that brother is very powerful. So if you're on there, check him out. Check him out. What's up, Brother Johnson? So to get back to what I was saying, you got to guard your temple. You got to. It is important for you to do that, because if you don't do that, the people that you give access to are going to wreck that temple, and they're going to leave you. You don't deserve that pain, y'all. You don't. You don't. And that also applies to family. Have you noticed sometimes you have some bond, you have some relationships that are so loving, and then there's some that like, man, no matter what I say or do, we're not on the same page, because their spirit ain't right. And like-minded people attract like-minded people. So if you focus and motivated and grounded, you're going to attract that. But if you live in your life like an emotional roller coaster, look to your left and look to your right, because those people are on that, they're riding with you, waiting for the ride to come to an end. And guess what? They're going to get off. They're going to get off. And you're going to be stuck going on that journey again. Let me tell you something. Because I already see I got to do two more to bring my point. I want you to know something. This summer is going to be your breakthrough time. The first 4 months, we're planting seeds of what's to come. Positively or negatively, you planted them seeds, but you can change it all. You can change it. Do not settle. You shouldn't have to settle when it comes to your happiness. You define that. So ladies, God, I'm running. You know what? I'm going to leave it right here. I'm going to give you 10 signs that they ain't growing with you. God loves you. You know I am. Stay blessed.